about this feeling, baby, we're invincible.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Notts County. As always, if you're enjoying the save, drop a like on the video. That'd be tremendous. So, I thought we'd start on Costel Troffen. Still, for my money, probably the best youth intake player I've actually ever had. Well, I don't know, it's hard to really compare it because it's all sort of compared to like what the players were like at the clubs when they were there and all sorts of stuff. But I feel like for me, considering our facility, I mean, to be fair, the facilities aren't good, but we've got good recruitment and good junior coaching budget and a decent head of youth development. So I think that's kind of really helped us. It's just our youth facility, which the board are not letting me increase at the moment, which is a bit annoying. But here he is. You can see down at the bottom, he has now got an assist in the league. And I've given him a start as well in the off-camera matches. So I just want to try and get this guy some games. But unfortunately, there's a slight problem that we might encounter in the future. And that is this. Manchester City are interested in him already. This actually popped up after, I believe, the second match that I played him in. I noticed he had a wanted sign over him already, which means, to me, this is the ultimate stamp of approval that says this guy is special, and we will do everything we can to hang on to this guy. I am not going to let Manchester City steal probably the greatest youth prospect in Notts County's history. Not going to allow that to happen. Thankfully, he's got a long-term deal at the moment, and the rest of it is just going to have to come down to us convincing him to stay when it inevitably comes time and City start putting bids in, because they haven't put a bid in or anything. But the good thing is, Regan Booty is basically like some kind of magician when it comes to getting people to do what I want. So much so that I don't think there's been a single time in this save when I've made Regan Booty talk to someone and they haven't agreed to drop the contract or any of that sort of stuff. Not once has someone actually dissented to it yet. He is like Alberto Freitas on steroids. It's time for Wizard of Oz to conjure up a playoff spot in his cauldron by mixing the tears of disappointed Leeds fans, sweat from a hard-working Booty, and some fur from a capybara. He'll only do it if you give enough first-team football, though. Well, I think he might be taking a bit of a back seat for now. Not sure if anyone mentioned it yet about Paul Keeble. His surname phonetically sounds exactly the same as the Czech slang term for bucket. Well, I think you found out it's pronounced bouquet. Matt sips on his bottle of water after his team concedes a goal, and you're telling me Pep Guardiola hasn't had an influence on English football. He's seeped into my brain. Gibraltarian, Matt. Nope, from now on, I'm calling them Gibralteasers. And you're just going to have to deal with it. Mainly due to their lovely wafery centre. So, we've had some games off camera, and I've made a tiny little tweak to the tactic again. I'm trying to basically, I feel like we're in a good place now with this hybrid approach, but I feel like there's one area that I feel like we can get more out of Ron Coates, specifically with some personalised instructions, but we'll talk about that in a minute. As we put on an absolute show against Sheffield United, and it's these types of performances that make me think that actually we were on the right track all along. We just needed to change a few little things about it rather than being quite so kamikaze with our approach, because we were way too attacking in that second half of the season, and it's just completely cost us in some ways. But we were brilliant on the night here. We honestly should have won by more goals. Curtis Jones missed a penalty in this one, but he still scored 2 other goals, as well as another one for Tyrese Campbell, which was brilliant. Could have been even more. Absolutely phenomenal performance against a really solid Sheffield United side. I actually started Troffin up top away at Coventry City in this one, just to see how things would go. Played a couple of different instructions on Ron Coates, and you'll notice in this game that despite him not scoring or assisting, he still got a 7.1. I think we're onto something with that one, though. Hermanson gave us the lead. Tyrese Campbell added another one against the 10 men of Coventry City, and we added another victory and another clean sheet. I think that actually made it 4 games without conceding, out of nowhere. But this might be my favourite moment of the season so far, to be honest. And this might honestly be something we look back on as the moment that we did the impossible. We weren't particularly great against Millwall, to be honest, but it took us a little while to get going. Freddie Sanford gave him an early lead with another back pass goal, but hey, I'm not going to complain about it anymore. It's just one of those things we have to accept. Before Jake Cooper made it 2-0 in the 66th minute from a corner, and I thought, oh god, we're going to lose 2-0 at home to Millwall after beating them 7-2. And then they missed a penalty in the 72nd minute and really should have been 3-0 up, pretty comfortable. Then we just kind of threw hell for level. We actually switched back to the old sort of kamikaze approach, and I think this is where it could be useful. In games where we're chasing and we just got to throw stuff forward, that approach seems to work really well with a higher press. Robbie Burton gave us one back on the 79th minute before Mamikon Oz levelled things up in the 82nd minute, and then look at this. Niall McPhee in the 92nd minute scored the winner for us to give us a victory. We were 2-0 down going into the final 10 minutes of this game, and it should have been 3. To turn it around into a victory was utterly insane. Burton was phenomenal, Booty was phenomenal, but Niall McPhee as well, to be the hero again. I think he's into double figures now. And then lastly, we got a 3-3 draw at home against Watford. The goals have kind of started coming against us again a little bit again, but that's fine, because we're still scoring them. We were 2-0 down in this game too. Joao Pedro gave Watford a 2-0 lead early on before Ron Coates got us back into the match. We then got ourselves level with Tyrese Campbell. Unfortunately, it was a case of straight back down the other end from the kickoff for Watford, but then Niall McPhee scored another one this time. He got I think he was man of the match. Not quite, in fact. That was Joao Pedro was man of the match. But all three of the front three grabbing goals in this one. Ron Coates got 3 chances created as well. Some key passes. He was absolutely terrific in this match. And to get a 3-3 draw against Watford is just great. And all of that leaves us still 7th. Because the other teams around us have also been picking up. But we've picked up a lot of points recently, but so are the teams around us. And we are in this is an incredibly tight situation now. Literally, anybody from Sheffield United all the way down to Southampton can occupy those playoff spots. It's 5 teams for 2 places, and we are slap bang in the middle of it right now. And we play Barnsley away today, and our goal difference is worse than them. I think if we lose to Barnsley, that's probably our chances of it gone. And in fact, particularly if Sheffield United even get a point, really. So it's not looking great, because they're away at Sunderland as well, who are bottom and relegated. So that's basically what's on the cards today. But if we win away at Oakwell, this could be a game changer. And we've not lost for a while. So, the changes. I've also made a couple more changes before this match. I put shoot less often on here because I'm hoping it will stop these guys from smashing him into the side netting. The other change I put on Ron Coates is having him run from position, because the issue with Coatesy basically is he can't cross to save his life, which we already know. But in order to get the best out of him, I'm hoping that if we let him roam a bit, he might end up in slightly more interesting positions. And I find that he gets into better attacking positions. He's not always there to find the pass, but he's great at getting into the positions. And I'm hoping that this might be the little bit of extra that we need to get the best out of him. Now, it's personalised, so that other players play here, they won't have those instructions. But it seems to work so far. So on the bench, Keeble, Lervik, Jones, Oz, Evans, Dewsbury Hall, and of course, Costell, Trophin. I might actually try and mark him up and take him out the game. I don't like to do that with wingers because they can burst him behind, but we'll see. Barnsley are literally top of the form standings right now. Like, that to give you an idea of, as much as we've been good lately and forced our way up there, Barnsley look even better. This is literally, I think this is the decider, to be honest. I think the next game is great and all, but I think this one will probably decide where we're going to finish this season, to be honest. If we come up with a massive result away at Barnsley, that could make or break our season. I mean, not that it matters, because if we're still going to come at lowest 9th, which would be an incredible season. And I do kind of fear for us if we were to get promoted, because the board would want all sorts of nonsense from us, and I just don't know if we'd be able to do that. Campbell in behind. Can he get there? One touch. He's gone close to the goalkeeper, and he scored. He took that extra touch closer to the goalkeeper. Barnsley 0, Notts County 1. And as things stand, with Sheffield United already winning their game, we would go into a very, very good position, because it would mean that only Barnsley could actually catch us as things stand. What a ball in behind from Dehaney. Lovely first touch from Tyrese Campbell. 26 for the season, and is 23rd in the league. Considering that I complain a lot about one-on-ones, which I'm not going to do anymore, the fact is, our top striker has still scored 23 times this season. And I think the issue isn't so much that one-on-ones are being missed, because that is an issue, but it's the fact, I think the match engine's generating too many of them. Because if you think about it, if more of them went into a realistic amount of chances, I think there'd be too many goals being scored. I think the issue is it's creating too many of them in the first place, and it's having to miss them to sort of balance that out. So I think the issue is more further back than that, because our strikers would have so many goals if they were scoring, say, even a third more than they are. We just seem to be that little bit more composed. Everything you'd want, we seem to have suddenly gathered. Booty, around the side for McPhee, he's going to drive at goal. Will he go for goal? He does! I mean, to be fair, that's a perfect example of a player when they should be going for goal. Ball across, comes back to Hermansen. Dehaney, we are creating today. Ah, not quite. Dehaney. Hermansen, really nice work actually in the midfield. Over the top again for Tyrese Campbell. He's in again. Oh my God. The moment I stop complaining about one-on-ones, we're bloody scoring them. It's 2-0. Tyrese Campbell has one, and now we're 2-0 up away at Barnsley, a team who are top of the form table. This is really nice work here. Just in between the lines there, and Burton just clips one over the top. Tyrese Campbell, lovely touch again, finds the space, and now it's 2-0 at Oakwell, and this is something else. Because it's not just the 2-0 lead, I think it's a thoroughly deserved 2-0 lead. We have dominated the opening 30 minutes of this match, and thoroughly deserve it, albeit with 2 identical goals, but the point is we're creating the chances. Nano, around the side for Barda. This is got to watch out here. McGee's in a tough one, and he's had to make a reasonably solid stop. We still have to go to Bristol City on the final day of the season, even if we were to win here. Around the side for Nano, that's a tough angle and a brilliant stop from McGee. It does seem to be impossible to get them to stop shooting from ridiculous angles, unfortunately. And Hermansen's put it inside for Campbell. He's going to get in there and get another shot away, you feel? And it's a good save this time by Radlinger, but another chance. Go on. Corner right on before half-time, and Burton over the crossbar. As things stand, though, we could be in a position where even a point away at Bristol City could well be enough for us to sneak into that final playoff spot. We've completely nullified their attacking playmakers, basically. And it's all the way through, and Tyrese Campbell has made it 3-0. He's scored his hat-trick, and I think he's going to be top scorer in the division this year. I mean, that's 28 goals this year. I mean, He has really, really stepped up. 2 seasons for him with us, where he's going to be potentially top scorer in the league all the way through. Dreadful defending, but Regan Booty, another assist for him. We're 3-0 up at Oakwell now, and this is surely game over. Good news elsewhere is that Hull City have been equalised against, so this will put us in a much, much stronger position as things stand. We'd really only have to worry about Southampton and, of course, Barnsley. Ron Coates now with the pace. Just pure pace. Oh, blocked. The confidence that's flowing through Tyrese Campbell right now, I would take him off normally and bring on Trofan, but I want to see if he can actually keep going at this kind of intensity. Actually, he's got his hat-trick. We're 3-0 up. Let's give the kid a chance for 15 minutes against a tired team who are a bit weary of the match. And Brentford have got a 3rd goal against Hull City, which could really screw them. And Leeds beating Southampton too means that literally we could go into the final day of the season with only Barnsley able to actually catch us. That is the perfect scenario for us, because I don't know who they're playing against. Coates. He's going to go alone, I feel, and it's a good strike and a good save by Radlinger, but this will be the perfect situation where only Barnsley could catch us. Regan Butty's put in an underrated special performance today as well with a 9. Woodrow, McGee's there, and a good save. Look at this. Jones will run it away, and there we go. Barnsley 0, Notts County 3. That is perfect. Right when we needed a strong performance, we bloody well found it. Regan Booty was sensational. The defenders were brilliant. Everybody played phenomenally well in this match. Even the likes of Ron Coates and that, they still created stuff for us. 3-0, perfect. Right. That last game of the season is everything is on the line. Right, we're back. Just lost another youth player. One of our younger academy team members, right wing back Regan Booker, has been poached by Luton Town. Why would you? Why? I think this has to do surely to do with our youth facilities and our youth level now, because that's 3 times this season this has happened now. In fact, it's actually 4 times because you can see there's another one the very next day. But why Luton? It's frustrating because, as far as I can tell, I'm guessing that thing in our thing where it said that we got Costel Trofan from, I think was it Targesh Miru. Was that us doing that to someone else? Because if that is, then that's fine. But that's 4 times now. Because look, Brad Ashworth, another player that's just gone. We also had a bid of £1.4 million from LAFC for Robbie Burton, which was a weird one. So, right, who are they playing? Barnsley are playing Sheffield United. Oh my giddy aunt, but they are at home. So the way things stand are, if we get a point, we basically need to hope that Barnsley don't beat Sheffield United by 4 goals. So I think a point should be okay for us if we can get it. A win is obviously what we really want, but Barnsley have got a really tough fixture there at home against... I mean, they would have looked at that and gone, we could really finish highly, but losing to us has been a big blow for them. This is a big, big moment for us. Unchanged side, absolutely. I mean, Bristol City are playing a very, very defensive side. It's really more about what happens between Sheffield United and Barnsley. We know that a draw is enough for us, probably. It's nice to see us just start with a bit of positivity. And again, we're actually finding space in behind them, amazingly. Campbell's a bit too deep for him to really find much here. And he's... Oh, my God. Oh, and McPhee just wasn't aware. And Walker? Oh, and Campbell just nods that on. Wow, good start. It's exactly the kind of start we needed in a game like this. It's so strange, though, that they're so poor at blocking us from getting behind. And Campbell's through, and this time he has scored. Bristol City 0, Notts County 1. And as things stand, we would be going into the Championship playoffs, and we'd be actually playing Leeds United as things stand. That would be the ultimate game, actually. A doubleheader against... Look at this, a ball over the top. And Campbell's now 29 for the season. Again, he takes it nice and close to the goalkeeper, and he suddenly scored 3 one-on-ones in 2 matches out of nowhere. Our little midfield 3 are really good at just nipping the ball in and around each other. They really have great partnerships in there. They can just ping it to each other constantly. Campbell, he's not going to be able to break through that gap, I wouldn't have thought, but he might be able to find Regan Booty. Burton. Booty. They've got overlaps for days. Here's Walker. Goes short for McPhee. Booty again. Oh, around the side for now, McPhee. Some of the football we're playing lately is delightful. Dehaney again. Around the side for Campbell. Bloody hell. They are just... Bristol City are really struggling despite their defensive lineup. I'm legitimately surprised that we're not more than 1-0 up as things stand. Ronaldo. Oh, Semenyo's through. Well, I've praised Luke McGee a lot lately, but that's a frustrating one, to be honest. To be levelled up in that fashion when we've created so many opportunities at the start of this match is an annoying one. It's not a particularly difficult one to save. It's directly at him and there's defenders there. Like, they should have this covered, and they kind of do. And, I mean, it's just poor, isn't it? Just poor. And Campbell's got it. He's got options inside for Ron Coates. Coates might go alone here, and he does. Gets in a good position again, but can't find the back of the net. But Dehaney's picked up a knock right before half-time, and he is actually hampered by injury. So with that, we're going to have to bring him off, which is frustrating because he's been great so far. And at 1-1 here, I am a little bit concerned that it could be one of those games where they just get another one of those little opportunities and they'll go in. Here we go. Burton, really nice work from him. And it's Campbell. Oh my God. Tyrese Campbell is just scoring everything he touches lately. Like, genuinely, everything he touches turns to gold. That was a beautiful finish. Really nice pressing work there from Robbie Burton. He just gets in there when he needs it. It's not even the best pass from him, to be honest. It forces Campbell a bit wide, but he takes the time, takes his touch, and then just finishes back across the goalkeeper. And it's his 30th goal of the season, and he suddenly scored 5 in 2. Wow. They're running with it a bit more. Semenyo's in. Oh my goodness. McGee does an excellent job of blocking that one in the end. I think Semenyo just didn't pull the trigger fast enough. City have moved to a 3 up top, so this is going to be very, very stretched. Hughes. Coates. Oh my god. He's done it again. He's actually done it again. And I think Sheffield United have just scored away at Barnsley. Or, no, Barnsley have scored. Tyrese Campbell has scored back-to-back hat-tricks. This is insane. I mean, I've never seen a player step up quite like this. Hughes does well here. Drops it to the wrong Coates. But this is, look at this. Coates just whips it around the side. Campbell gets a touch on it. A little deflection. And it's 3-1 now away at Ashton Gate. Oh my god. Tyrese Campbell has basically, in these last 2 matches, just said, I'd quite like to make the playoffs if it's all right with you, lads. And he's scored 6 goals in 2 matches. Back-to-back hat-tricks. And there we go. Bristol City 1, Notts County 3. Tyrese Campbell scores 6 times in 2 matches to give us the playoffs, basically. Wonderful. We very nearly snuck into 5th. Absolute scenes as we finish on 77 points. Barnsley do get the win in the end. Wow. So we're going to be playing Brentford in the fact that we've got in the playoffs is incredible. Also, 28 goals for Tyrese Campbell this season. Regan Booty, comfortably best player in the entire division. Again, crazy stuff. Tyrese Campbell, 28 goals in the league, though, is ridiculous. To score back-to-back hat-tricks on the final 2 matches to send us through. Ridiculous stuff. So, it's going to be our double header against Brentford in the next episode. I wasn't expecting a next episode. Booty's agent wants a new deal for him. And to be honest, I'd be quite happy to give him one right now, just in case. Because we've got to keep Booty. The man is an absolute legend. I can't believe he's done it for a third season out of 4 to be player of the year, probably. Crazy stuff. Anyway, we'll deal with that off camera. So you know what that means. We're playing Brentford, double header. That's going to be difficult. I don't think we'll get through, but even so, just having the opportunity to play in the playoffs this year is a massive bonus for us. It's crazy good. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I really hope you have, drop a like. That'd be tremendous. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I will see you guys very, very soon. And as always, hold your gun. Capybara. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.